Hello, Mr. Rainy Duck, and welcome back for another video. And today I have a replay in the Tier 10 German tech tree medium tank, the E50M. And that is because in the recent season release, they have made a buff to this tank. And it's a significant buff which is now basically made E50M actually a meta tank. They basically increased the armour. You know, the turret armour's gone from 230mm on the front plate to 250. The turret cheeks have gone from 80mm to 150mm, as well as increasing, you know, the little bit of armour between the cheeks and the bustle side to 100mm. They basically improved the armour of the turret, which means you can play hold down and actually bounce shots in this E50M now. So it's actually gone to a pretty, it's actually gone from a tank which was always a bit below par but it needed some love, and now it's actually kind of actually pretty decent now, as well as because all the accuracy nerfs, where the E50M was always a pretty accurate tank. So it's kind of got its place back in the game now, and that's a very good thing. I'm quite happy that this E50M, is got a place back in the meta. So what I've got is a one singular replay to show you, and I'm going to get onto that replay shortly and show you my crew and equipment setup I am choosing to run in the tank. Okay, so here we get going then on Duca Pass, where we are platooned up with Swindle 321. Him is Action X. If you want to see the equipment and crew setup I am running in the E50M, you can see that at the bottom of the screen as I speak. But there is no enemy artillery in this game, and there's one enemy light tank. And the beauty about the E50M is you can actually play this tank, as a brawler with the heavies if you need to, especially now because you have that increased turret armor, and you've always been pretty decent at side scraping. But you've also got the the mobility and the flexibility to go and play as a medium tank as well. So that's always what the E50M was about. You can play that sort of mixed role. But initially I'm going to play the 8-9 line, as the majority of our team are. And I'm going to try and cross to get this sort of angle at the sort of K3 area. So I'm hoping to get over there. I'm hoping to get over there uncontested. Unfortunately for me, there is an enemy heavy tanker 277 which is also contesting me in this area. Now that's going to be very difficult because I'm not going to be able to pen this guy when he's hold down. My only chance is to go through the cupola, which is not going to be an easy shot for me, as well as the fact that he does have heat shells, so he probably would be able to pen me. So it's kind of awkward for me here. I do have Swindle with us as well, and at the moment I'm just trying to sort of cupola snipe him because this tank is basically stopping me poking and getting damage on the heavies which are pushed across into that sort of the H4-5 area. So I'm playing kind of patient at the start because of the fact that we've got this tank. I'm just going to see if he's going to take any damage from our team. Maybe if he backs up enough that our tanks on the 8 line might be able to get shots. But it's not going so well. And what I probably should do now is, one or two things. Either just run and ignore this guy, and then just try and fight the other tanks. Or try and push wide to try and take this tank out, because I did bounce a shot off him. I actually bounced a shot off my turret, but I'm not really doing much damage to him, which is kind of awkward. And I need to push him back really, because I just can't really fight with this tank here, as you can see. So I'm going to just try and see if I can just ignore him for now. Maybe try and bait him round, see if we can get any more shots down the right hand side. But that doesn't seem to be happening. So now I'm sort of considering, I'm just going to take the gamble and go wide, get to a position where I could try and deal with this tank. I may end up eating one off of the 277 in order to get there. That's part of the parcel. That's what I'm going to have to do. I do pen him though, so although I eat him one, at least I pen him in return. But now I basically pushed him back. Now I can deal with him where he's not hold down. I had to be careful with the tanks behind this could potentially shoot us, but at least we're getting ourselves into a position where we can try and force to kill him. Because if he keeps pushing back, if we push him back, he can get shot by my tanks in the 8 line. and that hopefully can get him taken out, because once this tank's been destroyed, I can kind of get on with the game. So he's starting to take a little bit of punishment for my friendly team. Just being careful on that enemy Death Star who actually has shots at us, or that Zog which could potentially poke out and get shots into us. I put him onto a one shot there, well, actually a two shot, because I do only have the 390 Alpha with the E50M. Obviously a lot of the tanks have the bigger Alpha now, but the E50M does still unfortunately have the 390. But it's okay, we like to say with the accuracy stuff, we are pretty accurate now, so it's not too bad. So now it looks like that, I think the T-77's actually got taken out here. That's given me free reign to now try and farm these tanks. I put a shot into the enemy Death Star, putting myself onto about 1500 damage, so we can slowly start to try and get into the game here. It's still pretty even, pretty close at this point, although the enemy team do have a lot more hit points than us. As you can see, they have got the hit point advantage here. I'm just trying to wait, be patient, see if we can get shots. That T-32 exposes itself, might be able to get one in. As I went to move to try and get a wide angle on those tanks, an enemy chieftain actually pushes across just in the right sort of time. I'm not actually getting detected at this point, and I'm able to free farm this chieftain. And this is good because obviously chieftain has great DPM, very dangerous tank indeed. So we put him onto a one shot. I believe he gets tracked there, and Swindle's able to finish him off in this Action X. And we're starting to bring the game a little bit closer, but again, it's still very much in the balance. I need to try and do what I can to kill these tanks. So I've pushed across here, so I've got a wider angle. But as you can see, there is that Zog there, which is awkward for me to pen at distance. I probably do actually need to swap to my heat shells. So I've got that 330 heat pen to try and deal with this, and maybe try and go through his cupola there. Unfortunately, that shell ricochets. And if you look on the mini map, the enemy team are now pushing towards our base. So I kind of essentially need this tank to die pretty quickly, and so that I can react in time to go back to the base. I'll get one shot into him, put us onto 3,400 damage for our 9th penetration. He should go down pretty soon because he is getting surrounded here, but it doesn't help that I keep bouncing him, to be fair. Thankfully he does get taken out by a friendly Emil 2. I'm now sort of communicating with my platoon buddy Swindle and saying, look, let's go back to the base, let's deal with the tanks in the base. Once we've killed those tanks, we can then work out what we're going to do. But if we don't kill them, they're either going to cap us out, or they're going to wrap around us, and and we're going to lose. So we can't just ignore the fact that they're in the base and just continue blindly driving forward. We have to go back and defend this. So we're going back now. We're on 3,500 damage with 9 pens. But there's still a lot of hit points and damage available in this game for us. TVP comes round. We put one shot into him, putting him on 201, putting us closer to the 4,000 mark here. The other tank is at tier 8, so we should be able to bully this tank. We try and get a shot into him. We do on the move, because like I say, the accuracy in this build, I think I've got it down to 0.29, so that's pretty accurate, considering all the sort of nerf with the perks in this update. Want to try and kill that vigilante if we can, and also this Star Child there is a one shot. Unfortunately I missed that shot, poorly aimed by me, but the enemy light tank does get taken out, and I should be able to finish off this Star Child anyway, picking up our second kill, bringing us closer to 5,000 damage, and back to a 5 versus 6. Now a 4 versus 6, so we're still up against it here. We know out of the 6 tanks, there's 3 of them which are spotted in this sort of 4 area, and now we know there's a full health enemy Soviet medium tank above us, which we want to try and deal with. But also we know the one enemy TD, which was last spotted in the sort of G4 areas, an enemy Death Star. So we do need to be careful we don't get slapped by that tank. But we want to try and I want to try and whittle away some of these hit points of this tank. Maybe we can try and get a crossfire on the enemy tanks on the hill, because they are pushing our lonesome heavy over there, and it's a little bit, it's getting a bit tight and a bit awkward now. We put one shot into the medium. My E100 does kill the tier 8 Pantera, and I may be able to finish off the enemy Death Star there, which is huge, taking out the last remaining TD. Putting us on to 5,500 damage now. And you can see I'm trying to cover our friendly heavy tank, trying to get shots in where I can, but unfortunately he does get taken out, and it's now left us in a 2 versus 4. Me and Swindle there. We do put one shot into that enemy medium tank. Medium tank looks like it's going to push around on the right hand side. He actually gets shot by Swindle there, which is a nice shot. And now he is flanking around, and I'm thinking, right, he's a 2 shot to us. I need to go around and deal with his tank because I want to kill it before the other tanks get there. So then we're only fighting in a 2 versus 3. Put one shot in. Unfortunately, I bounce a shot. That is not ideal. I ram him, and I do take the ramming perk in this tank. I should have shot the cupola there. That was never going to pen. And this is a little bit awkward because it essentially meant Swindle had to eat another shot, which we didn't really want to happen. I'm now in a 2 versus 3, but then Swindle gets taken out. I'm in a 1 versus 3 with 6,000 damage. This enemy medium tank's a 2 shot. I'm just trying to kill him quickly, but I bounce a shot. I've got a full health Centuro pretty much coming behind us here. This is really not looking great. We should be able to ram and kill this tank. No, we do put him on a 1. We are going to finish him off though, which is huge, but now we just need to try and not get clipped out by the Centuro. We ram him to try and turn his gun. We're trying to angle armour the best we can. He does ricochet off of us. I need to kill this tank so we can get out of there before the heavy gets across. But yeah, this is not looking ideal for us at the moment, but we're on to having a really good game here. He is down to his sort of... He's done his clip now, so he's down to his last shell. He's a 1 shot to us. We should just be able to finish him off if we're lucky. But now we're getting pushed by a full health heavy. When we're on 100 hit points, this is not looking brilliant. We're just going to do our best. We're just going to not give up. We put 1 shot into him. He does actually ricochet off of us here, so we're going to be able to get a 2nd shot into him here, and putting us onto a 9,000 damage. But unfortunately, like I say, we only have 100 hit points, and he does, eventually manage to pen our upper plate here, which takes us out, which is a real shame. We're so close to getting the win, but we do still go on to have a really good game. We get 9,000 damage in the E50M there. We do pick up the ace tank. We block 3,000 damage in the high caliber. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for your amazing support, and as always, happy tanking.
Hadouken!